So, Vice President Kamala Harris, Josh, and President Joe Biden coming to Pittsburgh for Labor Day. It's time for a myth buster. Republicans care about the building trades and labor, too. Is that not correct? Good evening.
That's very correct. We want to see people working across the board. We want to see people in the building trades, working in the energy industry and manufacturing. We want to see growth and development. We think this area has a lot of potential, a lot of opportunity, and those men and women in those building trades do the best work out there, especially in Western Pennsylvania. We have such a long, rich tradition of working and making things and mining and extracting. And those members have been a part of that history really for the last 150 years or so.
There were 8,000 members of the building trades on site within a stone's throw from where your office is in Vanport across the Ohio River on the banks of that river, building that Shell cracker plant. And let's face it, that has been a multi-billion-dollar investment that will continue to pay dividends. And I think if you talk to any carpenter, any electrician, they will tell you that kept their family fed for a very long time, correct?
Yeah, and 8,000 at one given time, but it was a total of 30,000 different workers, individual workers that were working at that facility. It's these building trade unions aren't just unions that do collective bargaining. They're also training and educational opportunities for kids coming out of college, coming out of high school that want a new career, that want to learn a trade. They train people, they get people to work, and we need to get them jobs to work on.
And we have the new electricians union hall being built in Vanport. Absolutely looks spectacular. That won't be long before the ribbon cutting ceremony takes place there. So let's just cut to the chase. Why is it that for some reason people think if you vote for a Republican and you love the building trades, that's taboo? That's nonsense as far as I'm concerned.
I agree. And there may have been a time when that was the case. It hasn't been a time since I was in office and long before that as well. Look, we want people working. We want to see growth. We want to see development. We want to see jobs in this region. And we need people learning those skills that the building trades train people in, whether it's the steam fitters, the operating engineers, the insulators, the electrical workers, all across the board, laborers, carpenters. We need people working in those fields. They train the people. We need to get them the jobs so that we can start producing things again in Pennsylvania.